What's up, you guys? How are you guys doing? How are my ladies doing? Hi, Miss Daria. Y'all. Oh my God, the best. Oh my God. I don't know. All I know is I felt like this was the best episode of TV that I've seen in a very, very long time. So, without further ado, I know the time is a little bit off. And if you're catching us on the replay, I don't mind. It's okay. Just put in the comments hashtag replay crew, and we're gonna chat it up in the comments. Okay, so don't worry about it. I know this is an awkward time. People just getting off work. You may not be in front of the TV or don't have access. I got it. So catch us on the replay and make sure you join the conversation. So we have a very, very good episode coming up, and I'm going to bring my girls up to help break this down and discuss it. And first up, I have my girl, Tiffani. Hey,
Hi, Daria.
Hey, Daria. And then, last but not least, put your hammers up for my girl.
Hey, y'all.
Oh, right. Like I said, we had a great episode. Great episode today. And oh my God, I'm kind of speechless, y'all, because I'm telling you, it was so powerful. And I just want to give my overall, and then I'll give my girls' opinions on it. But overall, this was like the most powerful episode of television that I've seen in a very long time. Those are my sentiments about this particular episode. There are so many scenes where I just broke down crying. There were three in particular, especially the one with when the king came into the throne room and sat the throne. That was an awesome sequence. I actually have it. It's actually too long to play, but yeah. Hey, Monique. Hey, Rockers LA. Everybody, come on in. Y'all, please tell me, what did you think about this episode? I'm gonna start with you, Moochie.
This was a good episode. I mean, I like Damon the way he stood up for his brother.
You said the same thing I did.
I know it's like too much, like towards the end, but he let him know, no, you can't let him handle this. This is something you got to do.
Yes.
Because he's like, oh, I usually let Otto do. No. You handle this.
No.
Yeah.
Good episode.
It was an excellent episode. Tiffani?
Same. I was talking to Nita offline, and I was full about a lot of things. I was full about the way Viserys stood up for Rhaenyra. Like, he came out of his deathbed to come in that room and hold her down. So I was like, I'm close to my daddy too. So I can appreciate how her dad rode for her. So that I was really moved by that. And Damon too. Damon rode for her too. Because
he showed his allegiance last episode when he
he did.
And stopped Kristen Cole from coming at him.
Yes, he did. But when
I knew he wasn't going nowhere now.
When Vayman called her a whore, when Vayman called her
that was it.
It was off the head. He was like, he can keep his tongue. I said, that's what I'm talking about. The men of Rhaenyra's life really showed up and showed out this week.
Yes. And you guys, I have mommy and daddy issues. So for me to see a father stand up and show up for his daughter like that, the way my heart just kind of like wanted to come. I don't know. I just had so many emotions. Like, it was, I was like in tears, like the ugly cry. So it was so good to me. That was like the best. And then the way the music swelled up and how the when he was walking through, and he was walking through very, very slowly, I guess he couldn't,
Yeah, he struggled. I mean,
Right. And I was saying
everything.
You remember how when they used to be kings and they would bow down or something, or they'll kneel? I said the way I just came up off my deathbed and came in this throne room walking, I'm gonna need y'all to get on y'all knees. We're not just bowing our heads. I was like, I want you on your knees because I deserve.
I don't sitting at that throne like he think he belong there.
Exactly.
He got too comfortable.
Yes, y'all. I'm so sorry. I'm so excited about the episode, but I'm not gonna keep on, child. I gonna keep on gushing over. We're gonna go ahead and get into it. Yes, my heart rejoiced. It was like so touching. Yes. Oh, thank you so much for the super chat. I was like, it was just bursting out my chest. It was just like, yes, but that is the term. So thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate that. So y'all, let's start. Ooh, and of course, if you don't know, I give this a 15. I give this episode.
He said a 15.
So we're gonna start at the beginning. Let's start at the beginning. So we get the background, and Rhaenys is on the throne. Corlys, I said, I know you not about to kill this man off screen. Why? Like, I wanted to see more of him. Like,
that's why I'm not sure that he dead. They said that it was uncertain that he would survive. The fact that we haven't seen him, I think he probably is gonna pull through. That's why I thought that whole thing was presumptuous.
Okay.
I'm like, I mean, the succession thing. I'm like, y'all talking about succession, and he ain't even dead yet, as far as y'all know.
Right. And they could have just been creating a narrative so he could get it. You know, he went to the crown to get named it. So he's basically was trying to take it.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like that was treason because Rhaenys was already sitting on the throne and she was governing in his absence. So exactly. For you to bypass her and then appeal to the crown, I'm like, that was treasonous to me.
Absolutely. Thank you, William Lawrence. The king showed us the king we wanted to see from him. Yes, it was all of that. It was just all of that emotion that just kind of like, I was like this, yes, Viserys. I was just like this. Y'all, if y'all had no daddy like Viserys, I don't know what to say, but I want me a daddy like Viserys. I want me a daddy. And like
I have a daddy like Viserys.
That's what's up. I love it. I love to hear it. Thank you so much for the super chat. Let me see. When Daemon helped him and put the crown on, that was another tearjerker. Yeah. I was like, just holding back. Well, I wasn't holding back no tears. I was ugly crying, y'all. I was crying. It was so much because even, I had been waiting for that all season long because the way they kind of depicted them, they were so, clashing and stuff like that. But I always could tell because I remember saying earlier on, I said, I feel like Daemon really loves his brother. I don't think he hates his brother. I don't think he even wants the throne. Like, I was like,
no, you know how it is sometimes with family. Family is complicated. Right. You can have issues with your siblings, but it don't mean you don't love them.
Yeah. Absolutely. I
think for the simple fact that he basically looked up to those other people and listened to them, basically broke the relationship between him and Daemon.
Yes. Pour one out for Viserys and Vaemond. They're both good actors. Yes. But Vaemond, he was beside himself, wasn't he, honey? He was beside himself. And baby, I put on social media the other day. He was like, I'll have your tongue for it. Daemon was like, say less.
Right.
Right. Now, girls, I want to ask you, do you believe that Alicent could have been poisoning Viserys?
Yes. It just seemed like they just was keeping him doped up on the milk of the poppy.
Yeah, right. I'll say that. I'll say dope, but I don't think she was really poisoning him. I do think they were keeping him on the milk of the poppy, like you said, because he was doped up. They was keeping him out the way so they can run, run King's Landing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so okay, I was just wondering that because for some reason, I don't know why, but I also when Alicent gave the little maid girl the plan B, the moon tea, I almost felt like something like I know she gave her the money and then she also gave her the tea. So I'm like, you wouldn't give somebody money if you were trying to poison them and kill them. So I don't know if that's what she was doing. I was like, if the girl turns up dead, I don't know, because I was sitting up there because when the the daughter asked for the maid, she was like, the maid is supposed to be putting the baby's clothes on, the children's clothes on. And then she just ran up to her and hugged her. And I was like, well, what the hell is the hug for? Like, did she do something to the girl or?
No, she hugged her because her son is a scoundrel. That's why she hugged her like, poor thing.
She's a monster.
What did
They
I
already
do?
know
I
you're a monster.
betrothed you to this scoundrel. That's
Oh, wow.
I think it was a hug of sympathy,
Okay.
like because
Okay.
her son is terrible.
Okay.
and one of the things that I was seeing online in the background of Alicent. Now, Alicent has become extremely religious, and she has basically become one of the part of that religion, the seventh, that's attributed to the High Sparrow and everything that we saw in the OG Game of Thrones. That's the religion that Alicent is now a part of, and so she considers herself to be devout, even though what she did with the morning tea, the moon tea,
right.
was basically an abortion and stuff. So I just think that she knew that this was not going to be the end of her daughter's pain dealing with him. And so I think that hug was like a hug of sympathy.
Okay, yeah. Monique, she agrees with you. Okay. So I was just, I'd be trying to read into some things. I was like, now listen, now with this whole religious thing, she better be careful because I remember Cersei tried to go that route and shame.
Yeah. I hope it happened to her too.
Yes. I was just like, you better be careful because them religious people, you better be careful. That's all I'm gonna say. And I'm just gonna say shame and the walk of shame that she had to endure. So you might want to tread lightly with that whole thing and not put people in high places like the high septon and all them people. You better keep them where they need to be. Keep them where they need to be. So also too, they gave so during that whole conversation with Vaemon, Rhaenys, and
I'm reading this comment. He said, "Rest in peace, disrespected Black family."
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
the whole family is almost gone.
Right. That's all I was like. How y'all? I was like, Black Lives Matter. How y'all gonna take out all the Black people all just like that? First Lena, like, come on. And then Corliss, I'm like, come on.
I don't think Corliss dead yet, though.
I don't think he's dead either.
I don't think he's dead yet. I think they said he's not likely to survive, but I think he probably is going to survive. I think he's probably going. He'll probably come back.
Tamika said, then she had the nerve to say, "You're no child of mine." I said, "Yes, he is. That's the monster you raised." Good.
Yep. That's the monster you created.
Yep.
Yeah.
And imagine him on the throne.
Yeah. She was giving some Cersei and Joffrey vibes, but I like that she don't mind putting her hands on him. He been getting a couple of little slaps here and there, and I was like, I'm here for it.
She definitely ashamed of him. Definitely ashamed of him.
Yeah. I love the slaps. That reminds me of the Tyrion. So that's the Tyrion and Joffrey. How he slapped him all the day.
I used to laugh when he smacked him though.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, them kids is driving her crazy, and she's realizing that she can't control them. I hope she understands that. And the thing is that that's what told me to that table dinner, the supper, the last supper that they had, and how those kids, how they poison those kids at such an early age, and now they're out of control, and y'all can't even get on the right track because you done got these demon spawns running around with these high heads and got dragons now. Girl, what did you do? Like, y'all don't know the damage that y'all really just kind of created in these children. Like, I felt really, really sorry for Rhaenyra's kids, the strong boys.
Yeah.
Because they had they didn't sign up for this. I felt really bad for them because they're, being teased and, all of that. And they're such sweet boys. They're very respectful of women. And they're just well behaved. And those Targaryen boys, they are running all over them. I felt
terrible. They are terrible. They are bratty, entitled, and evil.
The evil. The one with the patch know how to fight good, so he's gonna be a threat.
Oh yeah. That's Sir Kristen trained him, so he is gonna be a threat.
Exactly.
He's evil.
Exactly. Yeah.
He looked like he was turned on with Daemon the way he wielded that sword too.
Yeah. Yeah, he was looking at him of admiration too.
Yeah. But those two are gonna have issues in the future. Because I like the way when stuff went awry at the dinner, Daemon stepped up. And Aemon took his lead. And I was like, yeah, you ain't want no smoke this time. But I think it's gonna come to it's gonna come a day that the two of them are gonna go at it though.
Yeah. I see that on the horizon myself. I see that on the horizon. So what do y'all think about Daemon going down there getting Syrax's dragon eggs? Were y'all interested in how that, how they was you gotta kind of go you gotta break it open?
Yeah, that was interesting.
Eggs and they just came out like the egg. I didn't know they was like in this clutch of stuff and you had to go in there and, all that stuff. So I thought that was cool that they showed that.
I think he was going to get, it was cool. He was going to get the eggs for the babies since Rhaenyra is pregnant and they already have two little ones and stuff. So I think he was just going to get the eggs for them.
And shout out to Bela, who actually wrote her father because she the eyes and the ears at Driftmark. And so she gave them the heads up. Dad, guess what? They getting ready to go to King's Landing and petition.
Appeal. Yep.
Exactly. So I was like, shout out to her for that.
Yes.
Yeah. So then, Daemon and Rhaenyra, they were talking about it, and they was just like, okay, well, I guess we're going to King's Landing. So, she's kind of hesitant, and they're trying to, think like 3 steps ahead. Like, what is the consensus going to be? What are people going to be saying? What's going to be happening and stuff like that? So they're just kind of talking it over and everything. They get there, and they pretty much get the same welcome that King Viserys got when he went to Driftmark. I was like, well, goddamn. They ain't come out there. They didn't greet them on nothing. So they came in. They were just like, I don't recognize this place. Like, it looks kind of, what is this? They took all the Targaryen stuff down and put up all the stuff with the religious stuff or whatever.
All dark.
The High Sparrow stuff, I'm telling you.
Man, it was a mess. So then we see the council meeting, and we see Alicent in the king's chair. So I was like, okay, this is saying something. So we know what's been going on like the last 6 years or so, that they're basically running the whole entire show. So then we see, because of course they didn't greet them, so Rhaenyra just went straight to her father. They went. And baby, when I said this man, oh my God, looked like the crypt keeper for real. I mean, like
Phantom of the Opera.
It was bad. It was so bad. And,
it did remind me of Phantom of the Opera. That mask.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought that was a cool mask because I think they was able to make it look cool. So I was just like, and y'all make sure y'all answer the poll. I put the poll in there and I said, did Viserys earn your respect? Did he win your respect in this episode? So make sure you go up there and get the poll popping. Hit the like button as well. Thank you so much. Oh, y'all on it. I see y'all. So while Alicent was trying to go to greet them, she gets pulled away because we got the servant girl talking about he didn't ard her. I said, I know you didn't. I know you. I was just like, and then the way she did it, to me, it felt like it wasn't the first time. That's
No,
what
it wasn't the first time. It was not the first time. But
okay.
he's been a problem. He's been a problem.
Sure.
Even when he at the funeral, when he was talking about with the servant, when he kept drinking and stuff, and he was just saying how he like long legs and stuff and everything. Yeah, that's his thing. Drinking and women.
His little creepy ways of how he would just always eye them, and the way he did was that Rhaenyra at the dinner table who he kept talking to?
Baylor.
Baylor.
Is it Baylor that's engaged to him? Which one is engaged to
Jace? Baylor.
Jake. Okay. Yeah, he kept talking to her too, and he kept on looking. He gives me Mr. Creepy. Like he gives me creepy. Like I don't know. Hold on, y'all. So let me Miss K. So since you jumped in, I'm gonna read some of these. I'm just reading through the comments, but you can go ahead and give me your overall view of the episode as a whole.
Oh, I thought this was a very. Can y'all hear me good? Because I had to use my phone. I'm still not, Yeah, this episode was just, it was off the chain, but in a great way. It was really sad, and when I watched it the second time, I really almost broke down because I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that I'm about to be over here crying. But I didn't cry, but still, it was really emotional. Especially with, Daemon. And I was like proud of Daemon for just like putting aside just whatever he had going on and all the feelings. I don't know. He's just one of those people that, sometimes the younger sibling is just rebellious and they just act stupid towards their older sibling. I don't know why. It's just that sibling rivalry thing sometimes. And maybe there was a little bit of jealousy, in the book, it talks about that a little bit. But at the end of the day, he loved him. And I think it's really sad because, when you love someone, you should show it to them while they're here and not while they're dying.
Exactly.
So, just seeing Daemon, who is a man of action, and I love the fact that Matt can just show you everything he feels without speaking.
Right.
He's a phenomenal actor.
Couple of lines of dialogue every episode.
Yeah.
He conveys so much. So
yeah. And I love watching him at this point. Like, I'm almost starting to feel like he really might be my favorite character because, I mean, I love Rhaenys. Rhaenys is my girl, but I feel like I'm going towards Daemon as my favorite character because I just love the complexity. But my thing is I always love the heart of a character.
Right.
Even though, he has all these layers and he's a little crazy and stuff like that, but there's something in there. And when he put that crown on his brother, like anybody helps, like don't help me, but when he see his brother helping him, like he was like, okay, what I'm saying?
That was making amends when he did that. It's like, okay, there's no beef between us. This is my brother.
Yeah.
And then he put the crown on his head. I love that part.
I'm telling you, Miss K, you said you almost, I was boo-hooing. I was crying. I was ugly crying. I was telling everybody earlier, like when we first came on, I was just saying how, I have like father issues and mother issues, and to see a parent show up for their child in that way, it just kind of did something to my heart. Not support. It was a support game that said, "Rejoice," made my heart rejoice. Like it just stirred up different emotions. And because I'm just in a position where my parents weren't. They didn't, they didn't show up for me. So when I was just like this, that was just like over. It was just overkill. Like I was just like, it was just too much. It took me out.
Oh.
And if y'all don't remember, on Sunday I was on Miss K's channel and I actually was watching House of the Dragon, so you could have caught a couple of my reactions because I had the thing on mute. I was still engaged in the conversation. It was 9:00. Y'all know we started a little bit late.
Yeah.
So I
saw you looking towards something. I'm like, what is she looking at? It looked like she watching TV or something.
Yeah. So yeah. The crime part, it didn't get there yet, so I'm glad because I was like totally broke.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And then when that whole thing happened with Vaemond, did y'all get up to that part with Vaemond? How he just is like off with his head.
Yeah.
I said that was
a portion of his head.
Yeah,
I was kept the tongue.
Yeah.
I was happy that they wrote for her like that. Like, you're not gonna just disrespect my wife in front of me.
Yeah. And I felt like it was too like, you're not about to disrespect my brother like that.
Yeah.
Like, how you gonna come up here and actually you got the audacity to say not on my watch. And I feel like if Daemon would have been there the whole time throughout Viserys' whole reign, none of this stuff would be happening.
No. You know what's interesting, when I watched the inside the episode, the actor that plays Vaemond, he knew he was going to die, but at least he died with honor. He said because he was the one that knew the truth, and he wasn't afraid to speak the truth, even if it meant him dying, because he felt like these people are not really of my bloodline, and they are the ones who are going to inherit it ahead of me. So he felt like he had to speak up. But here's where I find him at fault. The reality is, as Rhaenys said, those were Corlys's wishes too.
Right.
He knew too that they weren't of their bloodline, but that is still what he wanted, and he should have honored his brother's wishes.
Yeah, but to fix that problem, they was wedding the
exactly. Yeah, it was going to be a done deal. He was tripping.
Yeah, it's always two halves. You know what I'm saying? So come on now. So I felt like he was making a power move for himself. That's what he was doing.
He was
under the guise of my bloodline.
Yeah,
that's what I was.
His mouth got him in trouble, though.
Yeah, it did.
Oh.
That
reminds me of the Will Smith Oscar slap. Like,
no, we're not going there.
Out your mouth. That is exactly what that felt like. It felt like the Will Smith Oscar slap. So we get to see the older boys. So we saw Aegon. We saw Alicent chastising him. I don't like the new Aegon. I think I wish he would have had maybe longer hair. I was so used to seeing him with the longer hair, and now that we have the story, it kind of makes him look a little eviler or meaner or something like that. I don't know why.
He is evil too.
Yeah, well, maybe that was intentional.
He is giving like Dahmer vibes for some reason. I was looking at him and I'm like, why does he look like the dude that played Dahmer? What the heck going on with this?
He's evil. I mean, yeah.
I don't understand why his hair is not longer. That is kind of weird. But in the book, his hair is shorter than that actually. So it would have been nice if they would have cut it closer to his head, because it just looks a hot mess, that wig or whatever that is.
Yeah, but A-Man, he looks really good. He looks like he's going to be Daemon 2.0.
Yeah.
He is training hard. You know, those second sons go hard in the paint. Him and Crispy is sitting up there sparring and stuff, and he actually got up on him. So he gave him his little compliments or whatever. But that line when he said "fuck the attorneys," I was like, oh. So I think they did a good job at kind of reintroducing older kids to us and trying to where we are right now in life. He's a good fighter, he's a great warrior, and Jason Luke, they just, oh man, they gotta keep working. We need somebody to work with Jason Luke. Damon, I'm gonna need you to hook your stepsons up, please, because they look like I know they're younger. They are younger, but
and they're smaller than them too.
Yeah. So
you know what I don't really understand about this whole thing is why all of them come out with the dark hair. Like, it's not like, you know how the Baratheon seed, they said, is strong. So like every Baratheon has black hair. Like, you're not going to find any Baratheon without black hair, because they have, George R. R. Martin made it a point to say that they have strong genes, like their genes are dominant. But why are all, like, I don't remember reading that with the Strongs, that their genes are strong and all of this stuff, with this dark hair, brown hair, whatever. I just don't understand, like, why not one kid came out, because up until this point, I always thought that the Targaryen genes were recessive, so that if they ever was with someone other than a Targaryen or Velaryon, that the kid would come out with the color of the non-silver haired parent, right? But when you get to Alicent and Viserys, all their kids have the silver hair. So it's weird.
Is it the male gene? Is it the male gene, possibly?
I don't know.
I mean, that doesn't even make sense.
I mean, no, you know why? Because in the book, Rhaenys, her hair is black because her mother's a Baratheon. And her father's a Targaryen. So if it was the male gene, then she should have the silver hair, right? So I don't know. I just brought that up. I never understood that. I don't understand why the boy's hair got to be so dark. And I mean, you would think that that's a serious gene to have, some freaking light hair like that, and then none of your kids get that hair.
Right. I agree. Okay, so like I said, I felt sorry for the boys or whatever, and Aemon kind of like postured at him like, "You want to train?"
Yeah. I know, and that's why I brought it up, because Luke was already there feeling bad. Like, if we didn't look like this, they wouldn't be looking at us like that.
Right.
You know, so.
Yeah. And that's why I was saying last week, I was like, girl, I would have been with Strong. You could be with the Strong dude, but you just gotta take the morning after. You better find your white hair. White hair.
Laid up and let the babies come.
That's it. It's just that simple. But yeah, she set them up for failure. And that's why I was so torn about Rhaenyra, because the way she was kind of carrying on and moving. I was just like that. It felt like, I don't know. I just felt like you was just messing yourself up for no reason, no good reason. So I don't know. That's why I was going back and forth with her. But while they're training and stuff, we get Vaemon walking in like he King Tut. So he walks through the doors like he King Tut or whatever, going to petition and all this other stuff. Now I think he probably had a conversation with the Queen and Otto first, and then I think he came back the next day, because I don't think all that stuff happened till the next day. Because in my pictures I have Rhaenyra asking her father when she pled. That was another huge moment where I was crying, because I've never really seen her like having those types of emotions and stuff like that. So it almost felt like she was saying her goodbyes. She almost was like saying, pleading. She went into like a little girl, and she was just like, daddy, please, I thought I wanted it. It's a heavy burden to bear. But if you want me to do it, you have to get up and do this for me. You have to
back me. You have to back me, is what she was saying.
And broke down crying. I was like, oh.
And he heard her. And we know he heard her because he came through.
Yep.
So powerful, so powerful. And she looked so cute. She reminded me of girl in that particular scene when she was
yeah, she did look. There was something some type of natural look about her that was innocent, and they did a good job at just showing us a different style and look of her to kind of like bring out that little girl like crying out to her dad, like humbly and stuff. Like, I don't know, I've been giving you some hell all these years, but I don't know, I gotta be real about this. This is too much.
I forgot to mention that she introduced the baby. So she has an Aegon and she has a Viserys.
Yeah.
It was such a cute moment for me, but it wasn't long lived. Child, he started groaning in pain and scaring the kids. The kids started crying. So you saw the way the baby was looking at him.
The baby was looking like she was scared to death. The baby was like, I was like, poor babies.
The baby was like this. I was cracking up. So anyway, I'm sorry, I just had to go back and do that. But we get up and Viserys is like, getting his wounds tended to and everything. And he tells Otto that he wants to have a supper and all this other stuff. And then he was like, it's morning time. He was like, no, arrange it. All my family is here. I want to have a supper tonight. So he's groaning and groaning, and he's in more pain than ever. Otto is trying to give him milk of the poppy and he refuses it. No.
I'm glad
he has to get his strength up so he can make that walk to the throne. So he knew what he was doing. I don't know if Otto knew fully what he was doing, but he
didn't. He had no clue.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, he ain't let nobody know what was going on. Right. Because he knows that when he tells the king, when he tells Otto something, or if he wanted to go the way he wanted to go, he know he got to carry it out himself.
Right.
Exactly.
And Otto is just like, it's like they just been drugging him to keep him out of the way.
Contained out the way.
Yeah.
And he said, "Nah, I don't want." And the thing about it is, when he was like, "I want a dinner," he gonna offer him the daggone milk of the poppy right after that. And he's like, "No, just set up the dinner," like, because I feel like Otto is trying to stop that, like, here, take the milk of the poppy because we ain't about to have no daggone dinner now.
Right.
Excuse me.
Oh yeah, and so he surprised the hell out of Otto. He busting that thing, and gosh, like I said, that was a touching moment. Corliss. Not Corliss. Vaemon, when he turned her around, when he saw that the queen was kind of like having his back, like let him talk or whatever, and he was with a little smug ass look or whatever. I said, "Ooh," I was like, "I hope somebody get you. I hope somebody get you." And so, she really turned away real fast, so she wasn't giving him the satisfaction. And so she says, then Rhaenyra starts to make her plea. And as she, oh my God, y'all, I really want to play it so bad because it is such the moment. Like when they came with all his titles, King Viserys, I was like, oh my God, King of the Andal, I was like, it was a lot. The music swelling, I was just like, yes, all of that was just yes for me. And that was like my favorite scene in television history for a long time. It's been really, really good. Yeah, he heard the prize. Yes. Hey, pretty girl. Thank you. Yes. She moves like a man. Right there. She a mess. I would be crying too if I'm the living dead. Child. Oh my goodness. It was hard to see. When somebody's on their deathbed and it's hard to, they kind of look like they're withering away and stuff like that. I feel like all of that emotion, like her seeing him stay, what she's playing and hoping that he can for her, like all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's sad. Sad to see him too, especially like that
Yeah.
after all those years too. Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, and so
Ooh.
Moochie, I want you to answer this question from Canna, and it says,
Mhm.
how do you allow Otto back after he has clearly betrayed you? And
I don't understand that. Why would you let him come back?
it must have been Alicent's will. It must not have been
It would have
his.
to be.
That is
He was
weird.
back from the funeral, and people was like, "No, he's with so and so." I was like, "No, he's back with them."
Mm-hmm.
I was so like, how did they let him come back? And I like the way Damon approached him last week. Like a leech will continue to eat whatever he said. It made he knew what, like he knew his brothers around vultures and leeches.
Yep.
In episode 1.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Now,
So
now,
I don't.
oh,
Sorry, go
anybody
ahead.
have something about that question?
No, I was just gonna say if Allison has something to do with it, at the end of the day, the king has to make the final decision.
Yeah,
You
Right.
know,
he
and
wasn't
it's just
strong
like
enough.
that's the thing. He wasn't stepping up like that because he was just too busy trying to keep the peace. And some people they don't know how to do both. Like they don't know how to be, all right, I'm gonna keep the peace, but when it's time
Have
to off, yeah, when it's time to be stern and off with the head and all that type of stuff, they don't really know how to do that. You know, as we saw with him, everything was he was trying to avoid war. He was trying to avoid this, avoid that, because he was trying to fill his grandfather's shoes.
right.
Because his grandfather had the longest reign, the most peaceful reign. So I said this before that he had like these huge shoes to fill, especially if you're following after the king who had the longest reign. That's like right now, Prince Charles following after Queen Elizabeth.
Mm-hmm.
It's not gonna happen, by the way,
Right.
but that's a lot of shoes to fill.
Yeah.
Big shoes. It's impossible.
Mhm.
So you
Absolutely.
you can't. His biggest mistake was trying to fill the shoes in the first place. You got to be you. And maybe
Right.
he was being him. He was just friendly, a friendly person, and you know he just couldn't, like I said, find a balance in things, and that's where, like, the downfall happened. Oh well.
Yeah. Right. The king of avoidance.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's true.
Like
And that's
that's not how it's work.
right.
Oh,
Yeah, Kim hit the nail on the head.
Worst
okay.
kind,
Yeah. So
unfortunately.
what really broke my heart, not what really broke my heart, is that he was so weak that he was actually going to risk. He could have impaled
Mhm.
himself if he
Mhm.
failed.
Mm-hmm.
Like I mean, he probably low key probably ain't even put him out of his misery. But I was just
Yeah.
like, baby, you might want a little bit of help. So I'm glad Damon came up there and did what needed to be done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The funny
And
thing you said, you saying that in the book, that's what happened. Like he, when he was trying to get up after he rendered his, you know, like his ruling, but it wasn't against Vayman. It was because Vayman had already been killed by Rhaenyra's
Why are we doing this?
command from
oh,
Damon. Off, it was outside of King's Landing though, for the same reason, right? So the cousins came to King's Landing telling on them, like, this is what they did, blah blah blah, but they were still referring to the kids as illegitimate and stuff. So Viserys was like, I told y'all about that. So tongues coming out. So he made their tongues get cut out. And as he was getting up from the Iron Throne, he cut it went through like his like between his, I guess you'll say, his wrist and his forearm and his elbow area or something like that. Like, and that's the thing about it though, he was not looking like that. He wasn't in horrible shape like this, but this was a situation that it got infected and it almost caused him to die. And that's when Rhaenyra heard about it, and she made her maester come in, and he removed the last two fingers, and that gave him 9 more years.
okay.
Mm.
Okay, so
Mhm.
I see how they kind of use some liberties and kind of
Yeah,
Yeah.
took some
okay,
liberties.
okay. Things
Mhm.
happen a little earlier, things happening, but it inevitably happened.
Right.
Thanks for that.
No problem.
And then you notice, I thought that there was some irony of him losing the eye as well as Aemon losing the eye, because it almost felt like a karmic debt, because he
Oh,
didn't do,
wow.
you know what I'm saying? He didn't like kind of stand up for him. He didn't, and just how it played out. And then he died.
Yeah. That's very interesting. It's true.
Yeah,
It's poetic. But at the same time, it's like, why should that be his karma? You want him to take out his grandbaby's eye?
Yeah, no,
right.
You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Like, grandparents ain't supposed to get involved in that kind of stuff.
No.
right. I mean, I get it. But
No, but you're right though. It's very weird that, it's weird that his eye is gone and his son's eye is gone. Like, it's weird. I don't know.
Yeah. That's one thing I was looking at. But man, Damon, he moved swift and he moved quick. Y'all want to say anything else?
Listen, I said on my channel last night that it was like he was giving them a whipping. You know how the parents be talking and whipping their kids at the same time? every step, every lip, like it was a lashing to Alicent and Otto. Like, y'all keep playing with me now. Stop playing about my child.
Right. And Alicent, she low-key looked ashamed of me when he came and he went past her and looked at her, and she kind of put her head down like she was ashamed that she was conspiring against him.
She should have been.
Yeah.
Remember?
I feel like she feels bad in one breath, and in the other breath I say, I don't know.
This thing that I was watching online about inside the episode, and the writers of the show, they were saying that all of them think that they're doing things for the benefit of the realm. So with that in mind, I'm not here for Alicent. I'm Team Black.
Right.
But when I heard him say that about each of them, I think she thinks she's doing the right thing. So with her, I don't think that she is trying to be malicious and stuff, at least at this point. That being said, about the intent, because since she's so devout in her religion now, and she feels like, she's honoring Viserys' last words. I know we didn't get there yet, but she thinks that she's doing the right thing for the realm.
Yeah. That's a good point, especially now that we brought the religion in, because I was like confused with all her, like just the changes that she was making. Like, girl, you are confusing me, because you was really hating this girl at one point, and like you could see the stress all on her because of how much hate she had. All the stink faces and all of that stuff. Like, she just So with this one, you could see also that when Otto was trying to side for Vaemon, you could tell that she was not here for it, and I just didn't understand why. And I wasn't thinking about the religious side. I was just confused about her. Like, girl, ain't this everything you always wanted?
No, it's about rules for her, rules and order. She's not really interested in the politics of it all, but she is interested in order.
Right, and that's the thing.
And rules.
But that's the thing. If she's been her biggest thing, and she's been leading this train,
she is a hypocrite
about the strong boys. That's been her biggest thing.
That's what I said.
Right, and that's exactly the thing that they're talking about right now.
Nita and I had this conversation offline. I said, that's my issue with Alicent. I said, because she's mad at Rhaenyra because she feels like Rhaenyra does not adhere to the rules. But you're not really adhering to the rules either. You're allowing your sons to break the rules. Like, your son violated the the servant girl.
Right.
And then you paid her off and gave her moon tea. And you're supposed to be religious.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm like, she has no reason to even look down on Rhaenyra.
Right. Nope. And the thing about it, the thing that we learning with her is that she's just gonna do anything. I don't think it doesn't matter if her kids do wrong. At the end of the day, that's who she wants on the throne.
Right.
She wants her kids to be the ones ruling. So it doesn't matter if they're bad.
Otto put that in her head too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's great. And she's in turn trying to put that in Aegon's head, and Aegon don't want it.
Exactly.
He
And I
was
was
not
looking at the
interested.
previews to episode 9. It looked like he was running away, actually. It looked like he was running. I was like, oh, you like that? Thank you, Khadijah, for the $1.99. Otto looks so comfortable sitting on that throne. Yes. He was sitting for 6 years. He was sitting.
Boy.
He was sitting on. Not the plan DT is dope though. Yeah, the acting has been very good. Patty Considine, please give that man all the awards. They need to make sure that they submit it for the Emmy, like for real, for real.
Yeah.
The acting
he did that.
overall.
He did that.
Good. She's so hypocritical, right? That's what That's what I said. Like I kept trying to, I'm like, well, she's just following the rules or whatever. So then I kind of like was having like a little soft spot for because Rhaenyra, Ray was doing all the, I was just like, she being questionable, and I'm just like, but I can't rock with her.
But she was being a rebellious teen. I mean, think about it. If any of us was brought up during that time and told that you couldn't marry the person you love and that you got to marry who's chosen for you and live a certain way and all this other stuff, I mean, that's a bitter pill for a teenager.
Yeah.
And then the thing is, this is the thing that got me. Rhaenyra is getting all the smoke when she and Laenor decided together that this is what they were going to do. They said that we're going to fulfill our duties to the crown, but then we're going to seek out our own happiness.
Right.
So, the thing is, like you said, Rhaenyra had evidence of her happiness because of the kids, but Laenor was out there exploring his happiness too.
Yeah.
And while there were whispers and stuff, nobody was in the courtyard calling him a whore.
Exactly.
And all the smoke was for Rhaenyra. So it just goes to show about the double standards with how women are treated.
Yeah. That's why I came so hard for him. Thank you, Canna, for the $10. Pass the plate around, y'all. Thank you, Canna. I appreciate it. And look, Kim said, okay, I'm on board. So if the queen now believes her second son is the savior, will she kill her firstborn son?
No.
Aegon is the firstborn.
Aegon is the firstborn.
He's the firstborn. The one that's out there iron girls.
Yeah. He's the firstborn.
He's the one that's supposed to, he has the traditional claim to the throne, but he threw all that out. He said Rhaenyra was the heir. But yeah, it is supposed to be Aegon, but no, she probably wouldn't. That happened. Didn't that happen in the Last Kingdom or Vikings or something, where the mother
which one?
Killed one of her sons because he wasn't fit to rule or something like that, but he was the next in the line of succession. Do y'all remember that?
I don't remember that. Because I remember all of Ragnar's kids, and none of them got killed by the mom. Be quiet.
The Last Kingdom.
The Last Kingdom. I'm sorry, I'm thinking about Vikings. The Last Kingdom. I don't remember nobody killing, no mother killing their kid.
Okay, I could be mistaken. Because I watch movies like that too, so I could be just. Yes, thank you. Another great review, ladies.
Thank you
so much. Appreciate it. It was a mutual agreement. Yeah, but she just couldn't hide her.
But she getting the smoke.
Yeah, she got all the smoke.
Yeah, which is messed up. She should have been way smarter.
I think Joffrey, that was like maybe some smoke for Laenor.
What was I gonna say? That last thing with her thinking she's doing the right thing with his last wishes, that wasn't no freaking last wish. That was a man just saying stuff. You can't take that into account. So That's that. I think she's being ridiculous for
She
that.
was
Yeah.
reaching.
What she wanted here.
Exactly. She was definitely reaching.
She was reaching, and she probably told her dad, and her dad ran with it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, that's all we need to hear.
Exactly. And then the thing about it is, if it's so right, why are y'all doing it? Why y'all conspiring? You making sure all the doors are closed and nobody knows about this and nobody knows about that. But it's the right thing to do. Okay, sure.
Let's see.
Mm-hmm.
She
Agreed. Just call me even. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. That's why he wanted to stick with
She get the smoke because she don't have a penis.
Right. I mean, shoot. In real life, the women always get the smoke.
Mm-hmm.
All the time. Okay, so where are we at? Where are we? We're at the dinner scene. So we're at supper. They're sitting. I love this scene. It was so good. The what's the lady name? The girl. I don't know the girl's name. The
Helena.
She had another prophecy. She's
Uh-huh.
beware of the beast beneath the boards.
Yeah.
So I think that is referring to.
I didn't share it during my last live because it's a spoiler.
Yeah, I was gonna say I saw a spoiler on that too. I think she's referring to her hubby.
Oh, okay. I thought she was talking about
or Amon.
and the dragon.
The dragon.
So could be something like that.
No,
But
something way worse, but I'm gonna leave it.
Okay. Yeah, it was a great scene. They're sitting up there at odds, but Viserys comes with another beautiful speech. Takes off his mask, reveals his decaying face, and like the mask is off. Like, if y'all can't do this for the realm, do it for me, this old man right here that loves you all. I was like, Patty, you better get that Emmy, boy.
You better act. Yeah.
So compelling. It was such a good scene. And I love that Rhaenyra did not hesitate because her father showed up. He did that for me. I'm getting up. She got right up.
I'm gonna suck it up and do this toast.
Yes.
Sorry, I don't know what the heck happened.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'm like,
listen, I think, if it wasn't for them darn kids, they would have been all right, because it looked like she and Alicent were trying to smooth things over. So I think if it wasn't for the kids being the way they were, they would have been able to patch things up.
Yeah.
They had already did the damage. Like, they have groomed them kids. Basically, it's like a learned behavior. Like, we're bickering, like, ever since kids. And how about Aemon is still triggered when they put the pig in front of him?
Yeah, well, that's because Luke was giggling. Luke was they got pissed because Luke started giggling when the pig came in front of him and stuff. And so, and remember, Luke was the one that took the eye.
You're right.
Always gonna have smoke for Luke.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, that should serve him right though, because he was supposed to be so much older than him, beating up on this kid.
Right.
And then you got yourself, you lost the eye for it. So how about that should be a lesson for you?
Yeah.
Which is crazy, because some people, they act like they can't learn a lesson.
Listen, he deserved that, because first off, it was so disrespectful. I know we talked about that last week, for him to take that dragon, and then on the day of the funeral and all of that. So he violated. So he's fortunate that all he lost was an eye.
Right.
Yes. Yes. Just call me EJ TV. Make sure you click on the poll. I'm gonna close it out soon. Because that was the question. That's the question of the poll. Did you get more respect? Did he win you over? Because I know a lot of people's calling him weak and all that stuff. I always always was in his corner. Like I always thought that he was a good man. I loved his
me too.
ways and stuff like that, and his good nature, because we know people in that position are almost just the opposite. So you know, I want to give some kudos to him on that, and just being a good person. And sometimes it just doesn't turn out to be a good ruler, because there's so many things that comes with that territory, and it doesn't feel like he has to pay for it. So
a lot of backstabbing, a lot of people in your ear, a lot of games. It's a big old game. Big old game. And when you're somebody that's not really playing the game like that, it's tough.
Yeah.
And you are gonna look weak. So, but with him,
sometimes you can't even see it coming, because you don't even think like that. That's not your thought process,
Yep.
Like, he kind of couldn't defend himself, because he doesn't think of the crazy things that people could be doing. Like, that's not even where his head is going,
Yep. And the crazy thing is, in the book, Alicent was the one that was like, when they were trying to figure out who to marry Rhaenyra off to, Alicent was the one that was like, let's marry the kids off together, Aegon and Rhaenyra. And he was like, no, like he said no, right? But then he told, I think, Lord Strong, that the reason why he said no is because Aegon is her blood and she just wants her son to sit on the throne. So he already knew. He was, you know what I'm saying? Just because he did show a lot of weakness with stuff, but in his own mind, he remained strong.
Yeah, he peeped game, because he peeped game when he called Otto out. He was like, even when he said, don't think I ain't know you sent Alicent in here.
Right.
So he did peep game.
Yeah. So, and that's the thing, Alicent, she always rolling her eyes when he come around and he brings stuff to, like he said, why are we talking about matters of succession that's been settled? And she's rolling her eyes. Why? Because that means that he ain't changing his position on his daughter going, you know what I'm saying? And if I haven't changed my position all these years, why you think I'm changing now?
Well, here's the thing. Isn't that treasonous though? Like, how are you hearing petitions on a matter that he already ruled on?
Right.
So to me, I felt like that was treasonous. Like, I'm like, who's questioning the king? Like, shouldn't they be in the gallows somewhere? Like,
and if they weren't conspiring against him, that their first thing, if they was acting in his stead, they should have freaking had his tongue cut out, just like the king said he wanted people's tongues cut out. But instead, because they trying to take over themselves and they want their family to ascend, they're going to accept all kinds of slanders and all kinds of questions of legitimacy and all that stuff. Because you're right, it's supposed to be treason to be coming here with this stuff. We already settled the matter.
That's what I'm saying. How are you petitioning? I said what I said.
Right. Because what comes with establishing an heir, you get, okay, who's gonna get the other seat? This one's gonna be the Prince of Dragonstone. This one we gonna betroth this. Like, they have a whole order going on. So the fact that they went through all of that was just like, oh my gosh. But I like how Rhaenys handled her stuff.
She did. She handled herself well. I know Rhaenyra was shaking in her boots, because I don't think she thought she was gonna come through, but she did.
Yeah.
Right. And that goes to the question that you asked us on the live on Friday, Tiffany. You remember?
Yes, because I was gonna say that.
I didn't think she was gonna think that. I didn't think that she was gonna.
Because that's what they wanted them to think. We knew that. We knew from the last episode when Rhaenyra said to Daemon that we're gonna do this, she said that's their only remaining child, that they're gonna think that we had something to do with it. But that, for the greater good, they wanted the message to be sent that we not to be played with, So, but Rhaenyra thought that she had something to do with it.
Right.
I thought she was going to think that. That's why I was just like, is she going to be Team Black or is she going to be Team Green?
I definitely knew she had no choice, because her grandchildren are Daemon's children. So I kind of knew she was going to end up having to side with them. But I'm glad she kept her on pins and needles. I was just like, when she asked her, I said, deny.
Yeah.
I was like, I say you could, but is that like, I grieved and mourned my son, and you telling me he off gallivanting in Essos, and I've been sitting up here. So I was like, I don't know if that's even better or worse, or
Right.
I don't know. I was just like,
I
child,
think
I
you
don't.
should let her know. Shoot, at least she don't gotta worry and think that she ain't got no son no more. Maybe she got the hopes to ever see him again. But then she'll probably be like, I want to see him. Do you know where he is? Going crazy about all of that.
Right.
But listen, the only reason why Rhaenys said anything is because Viserys came there. She was not gonna back Rhaenyra. Rhaenys, the way I see it, Rhaenys knows the game. She knows that as a woman, her husband wasn't there. Vaemon was already going off on his own little thing, and she told her, I stand alone. Like, how the heck you think I'm supposed to be backing you up? I don't got no freaking support. My cousin the king's not even there. So when she was talking to Vaemon, she was letting it be known, like, you need to watch your mouth because my cousin is not going to be here for that. But when she found out that he wasn't on the throne, it was like, oh gosh, like, what the heck am I supposed to do now? Like, I can't say anything. But when he came through there and he said, Rhaenys, what you got to say about it? That's when she took everything into consideration. She made the offer and everything. So she knows how to play the game too, because she knows this world don't accept women like that.
So, well, you know what, though? They must think she's a little bit of a threat, because it looks like in the previews for next week's episode, it looked like they tried to lock her in her chambers so she couldn't have no say so.
The shit is about to hit the fan, y'all. I don't know.
Why would they lock her? You said Rhaenys. Why would they lock her in her chamber?
I don't know. In the previews, they showed her trying to get out the door and stuff, and she's locked in. Because one of the things, if you see the previews for next episode, they're like, close the doors. They are going to try to conceal the fact that that Viserys is dead.
Is dead, yeah.
Yeah, because Rhaenyra has already left. She's already gone back to Dragonstone, and they already know she knows she's gonna come for her, to claim her throne. Right. And so they're trying to block that information. So I think part of that is keeping Rhaenys locked.
Yeah. Well, I would think that Rhaenys would have been to Driftmark by now.
She's not. She's not.
That's weird. They must have made a change.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Otto was sending some cloaked man on some kind of mission or something. So they are definitely conspiring something. So
I think it's the twins, because from what I was seeing, they have twins, and we're sending the twins out to be spies and everything. But one of the things that I saw some speculation online, that with the twins, they're gonna have divided allegiances. Like, one of them might go with the blacks, and one might stay with the greens.
Yep.
Anything else y'all want to say about the dinner scene? We talked about him getting triggered. He got up like, those boys are forceful. Like, he got up, he was like the final tribute, but that was soon as Viserys left.
Yeah.
And I wanted to say about Viserys when he was actually seeing his family laughing and dancing and stuff. Like, it felt like it was like a release, that he was like,
final,
let go. I can finally let go now. Like, I made something right of my family. That's what it looked like.
That's so sad, because that's definitely what it was, I believe. But unfortunately, that's not what it really was. A bunch of pretentious folks, except for the kids.
Yeah.
The kids was just waiting to act up, is all they was doing.
They were.
I'm glad he just had that one good moment that he could like hold on to, and because, like, for all intents and purposes, that's all he really wanted. Like,
he wanted peace.
That's it.
And that's the thing why,
like, a proud papa looking over, watching them train and all that. Like, that's all he wanted.
That's all he wanted was peace. And why a lot of people think he was a weak king, because he may not have been as decisive on some things that he needed to be. But for the most part, his main focus was he just wanted peace.
Yep.
Now, there's a question There's a question on the screen. Do y'all think Corliss is going to survive his life-threatening wounds? Now, I think that is some hogwash. I think that is like something that maybe Vayman probably created that narrative so that he could conspire and do whatever he wanted to do, since he knew that Alicent was making all the decisions. And if you heard if he had bad news and stuff like that, the line of succession is back up for grabs or something like that. So I don't even think that he's hurt. So what do y'all think? I'm hoping that he's not hurt, because I just want Corliss back on our screens. I don't want them to keep on killing our black people off the screen. That's
Yeah, I mean, he should be all right.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think he really did. Because that's why I was just thinking, too. I was just like, shouldn't they said he might not survive his injuries. Why are we having succession plans and he's not gone yet? So,
yeah. I mean, if you want a little minor spoiler, I could give it to you if you want. But
I don't mind them.
I know some people. What'd you say, Tiff?
I want a minor spoiler.
That's a minor spoiler? Yeah, I want to hear. Go ahead.
So, in the book, he's supposed to wind up being like the hand for Rhaenyra.
Yeah, that's why I said I thought he was not going to die just soon. I had even heard scuttlebutt. I don't even know if they're going to do that. But there was talk at one point of having like a spinoff that focused
with
on
him, right?
Or the story. Yeah, and I was wondering if that was going to happen.
Yeah.
They should.
Yeah.
He's such an interesting character, and I liked him. I liked him. I liked him ever since how he walked into that throne room.
Yeah.
That was it for me. I was like this. Yes, I love it.
Yeah, I like him. Okay. He's ambitious and all, but I still like him though. I don't feel any like evil intent. Like with Otto, like listen, you could be ambitious, it's okay, but when you're willing to just do anything, I don't like that kind of stuff. And I feel like that's how Otto is, and Littlefinger and all those people.
Exactly. Folks that will step on anybody at all costs. Those are the folks that you got to watch out. But there's nothing wrong with being ambitious.
Right. So, I mean, that's why I don't really mind. I mean, and and his wife calls him out on it too. Like, stop trying to act like you feeling so emotional over the fact that I didn't get the
Right. You trying to avenge me. You want to be on the throne.
Exactly. Stop it. But and so you see Rhaenys, she seemed like somebody with a good heart, and I don't think she would be in love, because they seem like they're in love with each other. Yeah. I don't think she would be in love with a man that she knows is evil. Mm-hmm. She would just probably be like the dutiful wife, instead of being a wife that's like loving and like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and they definitely established a love connection between
them. Yeah, they do. They had a real, you can tell. I mean, at least it didn't appear to be like they would arrange. They look like they had, affection for one another. Yeah. And I like the way she represented for him too, to Vaemon, and even before the court, when she was just like, well, it was my husband's wishes that Viserys, Lucerys has Driftmark. Yeah. And I'm going to honor his wishes, which is how it should have been. Exactly. Regardless of what the scuttlebutt was about Rhaenyra's kids and stuff. Yeah. The bottom line, Lord Corliss said, this is who I want.
Yep. And he actually went to is it Luke or Jace? And
it was Luke.
Right. Like he definitely was behind that.
He did. That's right. We heard out his own mouth that this is what he wanted. So there should have been no petitions, none of that. The matter was settled.
Mm-hmm. Right. Oh, so I can't stand these people, child.
Y'all. Huh? Now, let's talk about this fight. Now, as soon as Aemon calls the strong boys, because it's a kind of a quick quote, because it's like it's a compliment and it's an insult all at the same time. And so when he was saying this whole little speech, I was like, oh shoot, he gonna mention strong. And sure enough, he said it. One of them got upset. The oldest one got upset. And the next thing you know, and the child, poor Jace, Aegon, he smashes Jace's face into the table. I said, what in the world is going on here? Like that fight, it was like, and then it was kind of symbolic of how this is actually going to play out, because as soon as Viserys left, when he left the building, that's when everything started going crazy, haywire between the children. I think that's just that's pretty much how the Dance of the Dragons, like him, Viserys leaving, and the Civil War actually begins. So,
oh yeah, that's crazy. Very symbolic of that. As soon as he leaves, it all begins. The dance.
Like on cue. Like they couldn't even get the doors closed for him.
Right.
And you know why Aegon did that to Jace, right? He was waiting to do it, all because he asked Helena to dance. So he was waiting to jump at him.
Yeah.
Like how you got the nerve to be mad at him for dancing with his aunt? First of all, he just got betrothed to his cousin. And did you see how happy Bela and Rhaenyra was about that betrothal? They was very happy. I've never seen nobody in all of the 7 kingdoms be so happy about something.
Those boys are kind of decent, you know. Imagine being betrothed to somebody like Aegon and Aemon. I mean, they're terrible.
Yeah, and they actually bonded, you know. They had bonded that day, you know, and especially over that fight and everything. So they probably was close after that. They remained close after that. So that's why it didn't seem like, you know, so they was happy about it because like, oh, we're already close with our cousins. So yay.
Yeah, and plus they see that they're for the most part they're gentlemen, because part of the reason that Jace got up and danced with Helena was because he saw that Aegon was being a jerk and the stuff that he said to Bela. So she was like, let me show him what a real man.
Right.
Like show her what and stuff. Especially since she said all he does is ignore me and all this other stuff. So, so he was trying to show her how a gentleman should behave.
Yeah. And at the same time, probably honoring his grandfather, because he said, let's listen, play some music now. It's time to, you know, cut loose and all that. But he just had so much nerve, Aegon, because you busy being rude. You don't care about your sister. You talked about how stupid she was and all this stuff from when you first found out you had to marry her. So now you got an issue when somebody's dancing with her. Like, really?
Exactly.
Boy, please.
All that was ego.
Yeah. Oh,
okay. So
they wasn't even touching. They wasn't even touching. They was hopping around each other.
Right. Some little innocent fun.
Right. What are you mad about? Are you kidding?
A mess.
Oh gosh.
Okay, so Khadijah is wondering about the chick from the pleasure house. So that is Massaria, right?
Yeah.
So her, and I think she's gonna have some other kind of name, the white something, but
they have white rat. I know in the book I don't know if she's considered she's Lady Misery. I don't know if she's the white rat. I think the white rat, I don't know. I think white rat is to somebody else, but I could be wrong. But I know she's definitely considered Lady Misery.
Okay. So her informant is, do y'all recall exactly
the chambermaid? She was she's Alicent's chambermaid, because Alicent told her to excused her when she was in the chamber with Larys Strong.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, so that's her little what are they called? Bird?
Little bird or whatever.
So yes. So it looks like she's gonna be kind of like the woman of whispers or something like that. That is like her trade, that where she can sell secrets or she knows a lot or something like that. So I feel like that's kind of gonna be her role, because that's just how they postured her in the last couple of scenes that we've seen with her. So she's not a lady of the flesh no more, whatever she said, however she said. Yes. Okay, yes, the MVP, y'all. Thank you for bringing it up. Let me close the poll. And let me see what we're doing here. Oh, y'all, 90% of y'all said, oh, wait, 90% of y'all said yes. I wonder who said no. I can't see who said no, but 90% of y'all said yes. 7% said no, and 3% said maybe. So that's on.
Why did I could have guessed cannabis. I don't know. I thought it was that person.
Yeah, I knew it was him too.
Thanks for being honest.
I'm in the 2%, 7%.
Okay. So yeah, y'all, that's about the end. I have to go. I have a advanced screening to go see Halloween, but have to get on out of here. But I want to thank you guys for coming on the show. Y'all remember Miss Kay did a live last night recapping. So if you want like all of her thoughts, because you know we get little snippets because we're all talking and having a dialogue here, check out her review. And then also too, me and Miss K, we were on the Spot Real Talk on Tiffany's channel, where we got to talk to London Brown, y'all, yesterday. It was such a treat. It was
we had fun.
Sure.
So
y'all check out that roundtable interview we did. It's live on my channel, the Spot Real Talk.
Yes, and
Brown is real cool.
Community wall. So yes,
for those y'all Raising Kanan fans.
Yes. So ladies, thank you so much. Remember, you'll see us back here on Friday with a live show where we have like games and just different discussions, trivia, and all that stuff about House of the Dragon. And we throw a little bit of Game of Thrones in there as well. But come check us out Friday night at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So thank you, Miss Daria. Thank you, Khadijah. Thank you, everybody, for all the cash apps and the super chats. I love them. I love you all. Thank you so much. And we will see you next time.
Bye.